My name's Derek Evil. This is Addict MMA, and ladies and gentlemen, yes, I am an addict, a very big one. Let me tell you something, this is probably the biggest year in mixed martial arts history, and especially for the UFC and us, the fans, who get to take it all in. Alright, so check this out. We're a couple of months away from UFC 100, which has got a stacked fight card. We're coming up on UFC 19 in a couple of months with Rich Franklin and Vanderlei Silva, which is going to be huge. Well, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this conversation here real quick. This is UFC 98 predictions. Rashad Evans versus Lyoto Machida. This stands out particular to me more, and if you've been watching my videos, a lot of my addict subscribers know that I am a big fan of Machida. I put up a couple of videos talking about him, and I've been looking forward to this fight and hoping for it to happen. But before I get into that, let's get into the undercard. We've got a very exciting fight card. I'm very excited for UFC 98. Like I said, it's going to be a hugest year in mixed martial arts. We're not even halfway through the year. They always do something real big at the end of the year, but look, we're coming to the middle, and I don't even know if they can top themselves, but let's go. Sean Sherk versus Frankie Edgar. This is a very good fight. This is a very exciting fight. I think it's going to be kind of like when Sean Sherk fought Tyson Griffin, because you got two really strong wrestlers. You got two really good strikers, and two guys who are just really good at what they do. Very tough. Hermes Franca's taken out top competitors such as Tyson Griffin, Spencer Fisher. Most recently, he won a decision over Hermes Franca, which everybody knows is not an easy task. Hermes Franca is a competitor. Frankie Edgar, just for those of you guys who maybe aren't up to touch with him, he's kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. He's a two-time state champ at Jersey High School for high school wrestling. He qualified all 4 years in nationals in his collegiate wrestling, which is, I mean, that says enough right there. And he and Griffin, when he fought Tyson Griffin and won that fight, they won Fight of the Night honors. So this lets you know that this is not an easy fight for Sean Sherk. However, I got to give it to Sean Sherk. I think that maybe his wrestling ability is going to be a little stronger than Frankie Edgar's. I think maybe the striking is going to be a bit better. And we all know that when it comes to cardio, Sean Sherk's an animal. They don't call him the muscle shark for nothing. Obviously, it's his muscle. But the guy trains and trains and trains. He's got one of the best work ethics in the game. So I'm going to give this fight, probably by decision, to Sean Sherk. Look forward to actually kind of turn into a stand-up fight like Tyson Griffin and Sean Sherk did, because when you get two really strong wrestlers like that, it becomes a stalemate, and the guys just want to knock each other out. All right, moving along to the next fight. We have got on the card, oh man, Yushin Okami is back, and he's fighting Dan Miller. All right, for the last of you who don't really understand about Yushin Okami, because he's usually on the prelims, which he should be a main event fighter. He should have already fought for the title, which he was going to at UFC 90. However, he got an injury, broken hand during training, had to step out. Cote stepped in. We all seen the embarrassment that was for not necessarily Cote, but Silva, like his last fight with Taos Leites, where he's just not performing. I think he's bored. Yushin Okami's coming up against Dan Miller. Now, Yushin Okami last defeated Dean Lister back in December by decision, and he also has scored, for those of you just in case you think, oh, he hasn't fought anybody, he's also scored a TKO in the second round over the late great Evan Tanner. Our prayers are with his family, even though it's a bit late. I don't care. Evan Tanner was great. Yushin Okami is a wrestling, kickboxing, judo fighter who's actually 3 days older than I am, which is cool. He competed in the ADCC grappling tournament of the 16 best grapplers in the world. He was defeated by Damian Maia, which is kind of no surprise. We've all kind of been looking at Damian Maia lately as a middleweight contender. Actually, Damian Maia went on to win that particular tournament. So there you go. I don't really have a whole lot to say about Dan Miller, other than he's not at Okami's level. He's not fought anybody at Okami's level. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter or nothing like that. I'm just saying maybe it's a little too early in his career to be thinking about fighting a guy like Yushin Okami, and I'm thinking it's going to be a first or second round. Probably TKO, I would guess. Maybe even a submission. Yushin Okami does have really great grappling skills. Definitely Yushin Okami for that win. Next on the fight card, it kind of upsets me that they're so high on the fight card and under Matt Hughes and Matt Serra is almost that close to the main event. We got James Irvin versus Drew McFedries. This is sure to be a good stand-up, knock-em-down brawl where they just swinging for the fences as these two guys do. I'm going to go ahead and just tell you right now, it's James Irvin all the way. I'm picking James Irvin. I think Drew McFedries got heavy hands. He's good. If he hits one, it's going to be a very, very tough night, very hard, sore night for James Irvin. However, I just don't see it as happening. So for that fight, I'm going to go ahead and say James Irvin probably by KO. He's got a better top ground game and all that. So, James Irvin. Co-main event of the evening, you got Matt Hughes fighting Matt Serra. This is something we looked forward to about a year ago, and now it's finally happened. So I'm A, excited, and B, I'm kind of like, I think it just took too long to come up with this fight But nonetheless, it's here. It's a grudge match. It's going to be good. These guys don't like each other. They've been waiting for the opportunity. Matt Hughes has said some bad things about the character of Matt Serra. Matt Serra said also kind of bad things about the character of Matt Hughes. I think that they're both kind of cocky. I think they can both be douchebags from time to time. Doesn't say I don't like them. I say they're great fighters, but I mean, come on. When you're in a sport like this, people are going to be cocky. That's what you guys are. You're fighters. So when it comes right down to it, I think Matt Serra's probably got great jiu-jitsu, but Matt Hughes' wrestling is much stronger. Probably have to give the striking to Matt Hughes, though we know that Serra can knock a dude out. Just, you know, standing there with his hand down all the time, kind of trying to draw somebody in, Matt Hughes is going to capitalize. So I see definitely Matt Hughes winning that fight by decision. And now we get to the main event. Rashad Evans versus the Dragon Lyoto Machida. I have no notes for this fight. I don't need them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very exciting fight. It's going to be one of the smartest fights fought in recent history of the UFC, and I say it because both guys are very intelligent. Lyoto Machida is statistically the least struck fighter in all of MMA, and Rashad Evans is just on a roll. The KO of Chuck Liddell, the TKO of Forrest Griffin, the head kick knockout of Salmon. It's just you know, a draw with Tito, which I actually think he won that fight. You know, if Tito didn't grab the cage 3 times, obviously Rashad would have won that by decision, but it went to draw. I'm going to have to go with Machida. I don't think that Machida's going to be sucked into Rashad's world and his game plan. I think it's going to be the other way around. I think Rashad's going to get a little frustrated that with his dancing, that Machida's just not going to play into it. That's just not how he works. He's a much more calm and patient fighter. I think that Rashad Evans will eventually get bored and want to pursue Machida, whereas we all know Machida's good at evading. It's that karate style that he brings to the table, where he's able to just get out and stay elusive, kind of like Bruce Lee. I'm not saying Machida's Bruce Lee. I'm just saying that elusive in and out, bam, hit you and run. Not necessarily run, but you know what I'm saying. So when it comes right down to it, I'm giving this fight to Machida. I don't know that I would call it a knockout. I don't know that I'd say submission, because I mean, at this point, these guys are such a great level. They're both undefeated fighters. Who knows which way it could go? It could go knockout for Rashad. It could go knockout for Machida. We don't know if either one of them can really go 5 rounds. We've not seen this. So I'm going to go ahead and just say decision. I see it going more towards a decision than anything else, but you know, I mean, at the same time, look at the 2 guys we're dealing with here, so it could very well be decisively ended within the 2nd to 4th rounds. So there you go. Machida, all the way, the new champion. He's going to be the king of the light heavyweight division. I hope, I'm sure of it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This is Derek Evil. This is Addict MMA. I want to thank all my subscribing addicts out there, and all the more to come. Keep it coming, baby. I love you guys. We love to hear from you. We get the comments. We're absolutely happy about it. If you agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. But anyway, have a good night and a good fight. It's Derek Evil, and out.